Forget about weekend footy. The fiercest turf war playing out in Australia at present is the battle for bricks and mortar. The housing market, long a source of wild intrigue, has now gone positively ballistic. Prices all over the country are on the rise, and analysts are baffled about when and where it's going to end. And while it's great news for some who are making unthinkable money, it's disastrous for others who are contemplating the very real possibility they'll never own their own home. Here we go.
Exciting day.
How many auctions have we got today?
Well, there were 8. There are now 6. 2 sold prior. So it's a big day. Strap in for the ride, Sarah.
I certainly will. A Saturday spin on the auction trail isn't for the faint-hearted. Well, you do tear through these suburban streets, don't you? Strap in, that's for sure.
I think I got you to sign a disclaimer before we started this morning about the driving aspect of things.
I don't think I did. Weaving through the streets of southwest Sydney, Matthew Everingham is giving me a glimpse into his life as an auctioneer who has never been busier.
There's a lot of activity in and out of cars, driving between auctions, from one auction to the next. And look, hopefully it's filled with plenty of sales and sold stickers and champagne popping at the end of it.
Every Saturday, thousands of Australians gear up for what's become our most competitive national pastime.
We're ready.
If you're looking to sell, this is probably your season.
Sold.
But if you're looking to buy a home, well, you're battling it out in one of the most unaffordable markets in the world.
At $1,746,000.
And for a lot of Australians, purchasing property right now is near impossible.
There's no further bidding.
Do you think it's still within reach, owning your own home?
No, unfortunately. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would not be able to get a house. Never.
I want to open this already!
Brendan and Jessica Drew have spent 4 frustrating years looking for a home to buy in Melbourne.
It's heartbreaking for us. We get our hopes up, we go every week, we do the hard yards. I start picturing furniture in there and how I'm going to decorate it and all stuff like that, and then it was never going to be a chance for us in the first place.
Gotta get your throws right.
Yes, buddy!
At first, they were focused on finding their dream home.
Yes!
A 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house with a backyard for their son Lockie to play in. Now, they're just looking for something they can afford. And even with a budget of $1.5 million, that's hard to find.
We're looking 20, 30-minute drives down from Lockie's school, and we've started going for places that are 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, or places that totally need to be gutted and extended straight away, and we still can't even get that, unfortunately.
So you've really had to expand your search.
Yeah. And lower our expectations from here to right down here.
Is it that dramatic?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Like most of Australia, Brendan and Jess thought that COVID would lead to a downturn in the housing market. But if anything, the opposite has happened. Interest rates are the lowest they've ever been. So a lot of people are looking to buy, but there are nowhere near enough homes for sale. What we're seeing is a supply and demand issue. But the gap is so vast at the moment that desperation is driving prices right up and pricing people right out. How many houses have you bid on now?
How many now?
Well, there's been quite a few where we've actually been prepared to bid on, or by the time it's on the market, we've already sort of gone above our budget.
They actually start the bidding at our top range. We actually bid 1 or 2, we're done, we're out. So this one's just 2 streets away from where we're renting now.
So you must know Melbourne's southeastern suburbs like the back of your hand now.
Yes, yes, I don't need Google Maps.
How many homes have you visited in the past 4 years?
It would be in the hundreds.
Really?
In the hundreds that we've visited.
Hundreds of reminders of what could have been. So how much are they asking for this place?
1.5 to 1.6.
How much did it sell for?
And it sold for 1.9.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the value of Australia's housing market at the moment?
Residential property in Australia is currently valued at over $8 trillion.
It's an eye-watering amount.
It is. It's about 4 times the size of Australian GDP, and it's actually $1 trillion more than the combined value of the ASX, superannuation, and commercial real estate.
According to property analyst Eliza Owen, the market is red hot. This year alone, the value of property in every capital city around the country has increased by double digits in some areas. The value of Aussie real estate is up almost 50% in the past decade. And each weekend, shock sales shake up the market.
Auction clearance rates have also reached record highs this year as well. Over March, we saw the highest final clearance rate reported across our data, with 83% of properties selling at auction, and you can still see that demand is extraordinarily high.
Third, 1795. 171.
That strong demand is making real estate an easy gig right now.
22,000 sold. Congratulations, sir. Well bought.
So we've started the day off well, onto the next one.
Yeah, above reserve sale, a great start.
Let's go. But even Matthew Everingham concedes that desperation is driving buyers to gamble.
We're seeing people with that fear of missing out, you know. They don't want to be bidding again next week because the prices are moving and they feel like if we don't take advantage now, we may miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
When you're constantly missing out, you start to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. So you become quite erratic in your behaviour. We've seen that. People are going back and forth to brokers to get more and more money so that they can pay higher prices for their properties.
Buyer's agent Nicole Jacobs is an industry veteran of 30 years and has seen her share of high-stakes bidding. But even she's been shocked by how far people are prepared to go to secure a property.
We've seen properties sell for $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, even $1 million above reserve. And that's crazy. And it's not once off, and it's not just one part of the market. This is across the market.
And controversially, for someone whose job it is to make buying easier, Nicole's advice is to hold off.
I think it is an irrational market at the moment, and I'd like to just tell everybody to slow down because people are paying a lot of money for properties which, by and large, realistically shouldn't be at that level, but they are.
So cool your jets.
If the property is too expensive, if a vendor's expectations are too high, walk away and look for another property.
Before you miss the chance, at $2,700,000, in or out, sir?
But there's no slowing Matthew Everingham
We're selling.
or the people he's selling for.
We're sold.
Because while this market is disastrous for those trying to get in, it's boom time for anyone wanting to sell. Made $700,000 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's crazy.
Crazy.
And there are plenty of Aussies cashing in.
Our agent said, like, now is the time. If you want to do it right now.
It's hard to know what the right play is when it comes to Australia's real estate market at the moment. But for sellers, there's never been a better time to make money.
That's good bidding. That's a bold bid.
So were you even thinking about selling this place?
No, not at all. It was probably the furthest thing from our minds at the time.
Was selling this place an opportunistic move?
Yes. Well, yes is the answer. Yeah, it's been really nice living here.
Oh, I can see why. It's beautiful.
Such a good location.
How long have you been living here for?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And loved every moment.
Fair to say it was a bit cheaper when you bought it than
Just
you
a
sold
little
it.
bit, yeah. Just
As a real estate agent in Sydney's eastern suburbs, James Peach is used to helping those looking to buy. But offering up his own Coogee apartment to house hunters at their wits' end was a first.
and they fell in love with it. So I do remember after the inspection sitting there going, oh, I don't know if this is good or bad because this actually might happen now. And then sitting there like, yeah, that went well. I don't know, are we happy or sad? I don't know. But it all just started that chain reaction of events that led to us selling.
So you've got a pretty epic view.
Yeah, it's amazing.
See the water.
Yeah, the sunrise too, which is beautiful.
So how much did you buy this place for in 2018?
1.2.
And how much did you sell for in March this year?
1.925.
Can you believe you made so much money in 3 years?
It was good, yeah. We weren't complaining.
James moved quickly on his off-market sale. But the pace is just as fast for houses that are on the market, according to CoreLogic property analyst Eliza Owen.
We track measures like the typical days on market that it takes a property to sell. That's come down to about 29 days across Australia, which is the shortest amount of time it takes to sell a property since October 2003. We've seen vendor discounting rates are shrinking, so that basically means that sellers don't have to negotiate as much to get the price that they want. And all of this suggests that it's definitely still a seller's market.
It's not hard to see why it's tempting for homeowners to cash in. Auctioneer Matthew Everingham is on his way to try to help another seller do just that.
We're seeing amazing things happening out there in the marketplace, and I think we're going to see one this afternoon where they only bought it 7 months ago, and the growth that they've had, with no money spent, mind you, has been phenomenal. Last of 8 auctions for the Richard Matthews team.
But even in this market, it's not without risk.
I'd love you to get that card out of your pocket and start the bidding for us here today at Denman Road. What's your suggestion for an opening bid or offer?
How are you guys feeling?
Excited?
Yeah.
Nervous?
Nervous?
Yeah. I'm hoping for a wonderful result, so hopefully it'll be good.
Milad and Lillian Fares bought their Western Sydney home for $850,000 less than a year ago.
Okay, ready?
What made you start thinking about selling?
We've been following the market for so long and we saw how strong it is.
So you were noticing that homes in your suburb, in your area, were selling
Yes.
above expectation?
Yeah.
Above, even just between COVID and now, since the beginning of COVID, and now there was a big difference in prices. So we thought, why not?
So today's D-Day.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And we're very, very close to where we need to be here this
But
afternoon.
not close enough for Milad and Lillian. The top bid was $10,000 short of what they wanted. So they decided to play hardball.
Finished, no further bidding. Folks, we're going to pass the property in favour of our...
And that would take some confidence. You know, like most people would be caught up in the moment, would just want to sell the house. What made you hold your nerve?
I think we both agreed that to go with our gut feeling. And I think we were both really set on the price that we wanted. Let's take a selfie with the
And
sign.
sure enough, it was the right decision. Within a week, they'd reached their ideal sale price of $950,000. A $100,000 profit in 8 months. Were you looking to capitalise on the market?
100%. I think it's a strong market and you can, if you try, you can get more than you even think or hope for.
And while it might seem smart to sell when it's hot, there's the obvious predicament of having to buy back in.
You're going to choose it?
Where's mum and dad? You know, like, have they got a spare bedroom? Because, I guess if you find something, you just need to move really quickly because there's just no new stock.
James and his wife Emma managed to buy somewhere new, but went well over their budget. Milad and Lillian negotiated a long settlement and will rent from the new owners for the rest of the year. After that, who knows? Is this a bit of a gamble?
yeah.
Selling at the moment without having bought?
Yeah. So or we win or we lose.
What happens if you lose?
I live with my in-law in the same
I
house.
think a lot of people think we're crazy at the moment for what we've done because it's only been 8 months.
Are you worried you might not be able to buy back into this market?
I think there is a bit of worry. There's always going to be because we have a family and they're so young and trying to move between and we don't want to get stuck in rent for too long as well. I guess, yeah, we can't say we're not worried.
And $26,000.
Analysts expect that property prices will continue to see double-digit growth around the country for the rest of this year. But already the pace of growth is slowing down. Are we talking really about a decline here, or is it just more of a evening out?
Definitely, I think some of the momentum is starting to come out of the market. Perhaps a bit of a relief for first home buyers to think that at least the pace of growth is starting to slow, and we can probably expect that to continue throughout the rest of the year.
That could now spell opportunity for the Drew family in Melbourne. So what's your plan?
Keep on
Yeah,
looking.
we'll keep looking. We'll keep flicking through the real estate apps and hopefully find the one.
You can't help yourself. You just go back on again on the Monday and start looking again, just with that hope of, okay, this is going to be the week. Maybe something will come up that we could go for.
They're cautiously optimistic that after 4 years of looking, they might finally crack the market.
Yeah.
So Lockie's just turned 6. You're hoping that by his 7th birthday, you'll be in your own home to celebrate.
I wish.
Yeah, but we probably said that at his 3rd birthday.
Yeah. If not his first birthday.